Hello, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Eva, and today we are going to be swatching, reviewing, and trying on every single shade of the new JUVIA'S Volumizing Gloss Sticks. Now, these retail for $15 on the JUVIA'S website. They are not yet at Ulta, but eventually I'm sure they will be, and once they are, I will update the description down below. These retail for $15. They do also have a value set, which is what I picked up. Something else to note, JUVIA'S always has really great promo codes, so I was able to find one online for 30% off to use for this kit. Now, this formula sounds like it's going to be similar to the lip formulas I already love from Makeup by Mario. Their volumizing glossy balm. I know I'm butchering the name, but the Makeup by Mario glossy balm, the Tarte Maracuja lip balms, and all of those really pretty glossy stick, very pigmented lip balms. I'm hoping these are going to be similar for a more affordable price point. So if you're interested in seeing all of these swatched on my lips and arms, as well as some formula comparisons between the JUVIA'S and Makeup by Mario, Tarte, and some other brands, then go ahead and keep on watching. And if you are not already subscribed, please do hit the subscribe button. It does really help out my channel. Let's kick it off by reading the description on the JUVIA'S site. So I have their site pulled up on my phone, and they say, having seen the demand for a lip product with high shine, giving luscious lips with nourishing hydration, JUVIA'S is answering with our newest lippy hybrid, the Volumizing Gloss Sticks. With 12 amazing shades, this beautiful formula contains a blend of 5 botanical oils infused with rich pigment to deliver high shine and nourishment to lips. Blah, 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 blah. It goes on to basically say it volumizes and is a high pigment, high shine lip balm. So let's go ahead and put them to the test. I'm going in the collection, just kind of in the order that they are packaged. And let's go ahead and open the first one up. So this is what they look like in the packaging. This is the shade So Peach, and immediately something I love and something I always comment on this channel is I really enjoy when a product's outer packaging matches the shade. If you are a lip hoarder like me, it's so helpful to actually know what shade you're digging for in your purse. The outer casing, or what's this called? The outer compartment, I don't know why I can't remember the word, is very similar to the Makeup by Mario. It has the ability to push up, but it does not have the ability to push the product back down. So keep that in mind. Let's go ahead and do some swatches on my hand. Ooh, that is very pigmented. So here is an initial swatch of So Peach, but don't worry, we'll do arm swatches and lip swatches of all of them. I just wanted to give you a first impression application. Before I apply, actually, these don't smell like anything, so wanted to note that. Okay, that's pretty. Wait, I take it back. Now that I've applied it to my lips, it has a peach scent. I wonder if they're all gonna have this scent or just this one does because it is the peach shade. Initial impression, very pigmented, minty. So it has a peach scent, but it is giving that mint tingling that the Makeup by Mario formula does and that the Tarte Maracuja Plump formula does. I'm going to actually zoom you in so you can see a lot closer on my lips what this shade looks like and kind of what it's doing to my mouth and lip lines. Zoomed you in nice and close here. So you can see it is very pigmented. It's very minty. And I want to say that the taste is getting in my mouth a little bit and it's a little unpleasant. Not the end of the world, but just something I wanted to note, that it does taste kind of weird when you accidentally get it in your mouth. But here is the shade So Peach. Really pretty. And the coverage of this, looking in my mirror here, the coverage is really nice. It is really pigmented. I'm just kind of checking to see how like cobwebby it is. If you know what I'm talking about, like the Tarte ones kind of get, if you apply too much, like the weird little cobwebs when you're opening your mouth and some of the product is dripping down. So you get that a little bit, nothing like super noteworthy, but you do want to be a little bit careful that you're not over applying so you don't get that product buildup. Okay, now that I've had this on for maybe a few minutes, I do want to note that that taste is getting pretty bad. Like it's very, very medicinal and it's really strong. I don't even have any on my teeth, but somehow that taste is seeping through. That's unpleasant. That's unpleasant. When I try on the other shades, I'm going to try to be more careful and apply not as much on my lips so that hopefully it doesn't seep into my mouth as much and I'm not tasting that. So let's go ahead and move on to the other shades and get all 12 of those swatched on my lips. I'm going to just do like music and overlay with all the swatches, and then we'll come back and talk about my first impressions and which shades were my favorite. Those are all of the lip swatches. I zoomed you in closer so you can see the So Peach color a little bit better. I put that one back on. Now let's talk about the first impression. One thing that I did want to amend is the scent. So they all are scented, but I'm pretty sure they each have a different scent that is supposed to correspond with the shade. Some of them, like, I couldn't really tell what they were supposed to smell like, but for example, So Peach, which is what I'm wearing right now, definitely has a peach fragrance. And then the chocolate shade, Cocoa, those had chocolate scents, and so on and so forth. They weren't super noticeable, but I thought that was a fun little detail that the brand put in. Now let's talk about the formula. And let's go back to the taste. I'm still honestly struggling with the taste of the product. It's giving Vicks Vapor Rub. It's quite strong. Like if I were, this is not a product that I think I can eat with, because as even I'm talking now, the product is starting to get in my mouth and that minty Vicks Vapor Rub taste is really strong. That being said, however, the mintiness of the product does really do a good job of plumping the lips and helping fill the lip lines. I would say kind of when comparing all of the different glowy volumizing lip formulas out there, and I'll go over them in a little bit, right off the bat, off the top of my head, I think this is the one that is the tingliest of all of them. So if you are sensitive to tingling products, this formula is not for you. If you don't care if you're like, bring it on, then this formula might be a fit. But if you have really strong taste sensitivities, you're gonna have to steer clear away from that. Like I'm hoping maybe they come out with a version in the future. Maybe they'll get some feedback on the taste that's a little less tingly and therefore it doesn't have that taste, because it's quite strong. However, taking the taste out of the picture, let's actually talk about the formula. So I do really like the formula. Some shades obviously looked better on me than others. Something I really love about the brand is they come out with shades for every single skin tone. So not all these shades are for me, and that's fine. I have enough shades that work for my skin tone. Not all of these have to work. So the ones that didn't work for me, obviously cocoa, chocolate, and then sugar cookie. Another one that I wanted to work for me, but it just didn't, is the shade Blackberry, and that's because this one, in my opinion, was pretty sheer. So the color was really pretty, but it was a little too sheer to the point where I was still clearly seeing my lip lines down below. So I feel like the formula is a little off on the Blackberry shade, and as pretty as it was, I would steer clear from it unless you have like a Blackberry shade of a lip liner that you love and is your favorite shade and you wear it all the time. This would be one that I would use as a topper as opposed to a standalone lip color. Now, the shades that are my favorite for my skin tone were the one I'm wearing now, which is So Peach. Really, really, really pretty. Burnt, I want to say more of like a burnt peach. Like this is more of a fall peach than a summer peach in my opinion. Ooh, that Vicks Vapor Rub taste. Ooh, guys, it's so potent. Oh my gosh, it is very potent. I just got a big old taste of it. Let me drink some of my Olipop to calm the taste buds. Woo, okay. Yikes. Another shade that I loved was the shade Pink Velvet. And this one had, I don't know the scent. I think it was like a baked goods scent. But this one, very, very pretty. Let me go ahead and just swatch this one for you now. Still gonna do the arm swatches, but I'll show you now which shade this one was. So this is Pink Velvet. I'll actually swatch So Peach next to it. These are really hard to swatch well because they kind of just glob on there. But this is So Peach and this is Pink Velvet. I would say Pink Velvet is actually more of a light peach as opposed to any sort of pink shade in my opinion. My third favorite shade is the shade Rose. This was just such a pretty pigmented pink on me. So here is Rose. And then another one that I really liked was Soft Mauve. This is one of the other like pinky shades. So this is Soft Mauve. Let me swatch that one. And Soft Mauve is lighter than Rose here. What I want to do now is I want to insert arm swatches of all of these swatched out, and then I want to grab a bunch of the other like volumizing glossy balm formulas that I have and kind of talk through the differences. I'm probably going to reapply some of them because I need to refresh my memory so I can give at the end a very like accurate comparison review of how the JUVIA'S Place ones stack up to those. Now you have seen all of the arm swatches. I do also want to mention that once the color's been on your lips for a little bit, that really strong taste, for the most part, dies down. I think I was tasting it so much because I was removing and putting new shades on, but I've had the peach shade on for probably 15 minutes now, and I'm not noticing the taste. I'm still noticing the tingling, and I'm noticing that it is still plumping my lips and like helping fill my lip lines, but that taste has gone away. So I did want to mention that I don't think it's as bad as I originally thought. I think it was just extra bad because I was swatching so many and like removing it from my mouth. Anyways, let's talk about similar formulas. I went over to my like lip archives and pulled a bunch of products that have a similar formula to the JUVIA'S Place one. So I want to go through and talk about those formulas, do some comparisons. I'm not going to go into every single like glowy balm that's ever been created because we don't have all day. But State of Kate on YouTube did an incredible video where she did do an in-depth video on every glossy balm ever. I will go ahead and link that up here. Highly recommend checking that one out, especially if you have not yet tried a glossy balm and you like want to know about all the differences. Go check that video out. But let's start off with, in my opinion, like the most obvious formula comparison, which is the Makeup by Mario. And these are the Makeup by Mario, what are these called? Moisture Glow Plumping Lip Serum. So these are very clearly what the Juvia's Place ones were trying to be. I mean, packaging is similar. All of it is very similar. Now, I'm going to go ahead and apply one of these on my lips. I'm going to do one of the darker shades that I have because I think that's where I'll notice the biggest differences between the two, because darker shades are harder to formulate. And as I mentioned, the dark shades from the Juvia's Place ones were kind of sheer and didn't look the best on me. So I'm gonna go ahead and try on the shade Cinnamon Glow, which is the darkest shade that I have. First, let me go ahead and swatch it for you. Very, very, very pretty. It's like a deep cranberry raisin shade. Let me remove the Juvia's Place from my lips and then we will apply the Makeup by Mario. Okay, so going in with Cinnamon Glow. And if you're not familiar with this formula, I will have like everything linked down below as far as like pricing. I want to say these are maybe like $28. And let's go ahead and apply. The application is very similar in that it still has a very like glidey formula. It does not have that taste, which is very nice. As in, it's nice that it does not have that disgusting Vicks Vapor Rub taste. So this one is similar to that like blackberry shade that I tried on from Juvia's Place. And this one does a better job of covering the lip lines, but I am still seeing my lip lines underneath it. So that just goes to show that it's not like a knock on the Juvia's Place formula, but this like glowy type of formula, by nature, it's going to like sheer out on certain parts of your lip lines, and these darker shades are going to show the lip underneath. I don't know if I'm making sense. I hope I am, but a shade like this, I need to wear a lip liner underneath and like completely wear the lip liner all over my lips before applying something over the top. So I will say these are a little bit more pigmented, like this darker shade is more pigmented than the blackberry one from Juvia's Place. It's not as tingly as the Juvia's Place one. It's not scented, and thank God it does not taste like anything. So I will say they're pretty dang similar, but the pigmentation is better in the Makeup by Mario. But let's go ahead and try on one more shade by Makeup by Mario before we move into the next formula. I'm going to try the shade Rose Glow, and what I want to do is I actually want to apply Rose Glow on my lower lip, and then I want to apply the Juvia's Place Rose on the upper lip. I don't know if they're exact shades, but that'll help me get an idea of the pigmentation levels. So we're going in with Makeup by Mario on the bottom lip. And then let me grab Rose by Juvia's Place. Okay, we're going in with Rose by Juvia's Place on the top lip. Oh, so pretty. Wow, these are really similar. I want to say these are almost exactly the same, but the Juvia's Place Rose is a little bit brighter on the top lip. Let me go ahead and do some swatches right now so you can see. They look different on the hands, but on the lips, you can't really notice the difference. So this one here is Juvia's Place, and this one here is Rose by Makeup by Mario. The Rose by Makeup by Mario does have some shimmer, whereas the Juvia's Place one does not have any. But looking at like the formula between the top lip and the lower lip, I'm not really noticing too much difference there. So I would say the only area where there is a difference that I've noticed are those darker shades, as I've mentioned for the third time now. Let's remove the lips and then get into our next similar formula. Now let's talk about the glowy lip that started it all. And that would be the Tarte Maracuja Juicy Lips. Tarte was the first one, to my knowledge, to come out with this type of formula that started the craze. Now, the Tarte Maracuja Juicy Lip has multiple formulas. There's like the normal one, the plumping one, and the shifting one. I actually have a video where I go over the differences. I will have that linked up here if you are interested. But let's go ahead and swatch one of the darker shades. Again, I wanted to go for some of the darker shades in these because that's where I think we'll be able to notice the difference between Juvia's Place and then some of these other formulas. So this is the shade Passion Fruit. Oh, this is so pretty. I know I'm applying it pretty messy, but we have a lot of lip swatches to go through. Okay, so this one, I feel like the Tarte ones do a better job of covering the lip lines with the darker shades. Like, even though this one is darker, it's not shearing out the way that Blackberry and Chocolate did for Juvia's Place. But I would say the feel of it is similar. The Juicy Lips, the normal formula, does not have any tingling. They do have a plumping one that does have the tingling, but if you're just comparing the regular one, I would say the biggest difference is no tingling. It does have a very nice scent, but it doesn't have any sort of taste. The other biggest difference, of course, is the packaging, but it's still very similar. Like, the bullet size is virtually the same, and then it just gives you that beautiful, juicy lip. The last formula I wanted to go over, and again, there are so many, like, it was hard for me to narrow it down, but I wanted to do like the top 3 that I think are probably the most popular. These are the About Face Cherry Pick Lip Color Butters. That is a mouthful. These smell so good. Oh my God, they smell just like, there was this like cherry shampoo, no, like peach shampoo. They're called Cherry Pick, but they smell like peach. They smell like artificial fruit, but in the best way. So these are similar packaging to the Tarte ones, but these are very, very pigmented. Just to give you an idea, I'm going to swatch the shade Wicked Apple. Very, very pigmented. And let's do the same thing that we did with when we were comparing the Mario to Juvia's Place. I'm going to swatch Wicked Apple. Let's do it on the top lip this time. And then we will do Juvia's Place, that Deep Berry, on the bottom lip. So let's go in with About Face first on the top lip. Let's get more of the product out. It's really hard to apply these without like smushing your lips together. So it's hard right now. It looks like I have like a weird fake mustache on. I'm trying not to get the About Face one on my bottom lip. Let me go ahead and apply the Juvia's Place one, and then we'll like look and then smush them together because I look ridiculous right now. The Juvia's Place one we are going to compare is the Blackberry shade. Okay, the pigmentation is very similar actually. I'm now smushing my lips together because I just can't take it anymore. My lips are very tired by this point, and I feel like product is just not applying anymore. But let me just try and smoosh the product around. For the deeper colors, I'm not noticing too much of a difference between the formulas. Like, these deeper ones are going to be sheerer and therefore are going to show your lip lines regardless of the formula. But if you're into those deeper colors, I don't think you're going to be worse off purchasing the Juvia's Place one than you would be purchasing like Wicked Apple from About Face. I'm here to kind of wrap it all up and give you a summary. I did also want to mention I'm wearing the shade, I believe it's called like Honey Drip, on my lips right now. I really like the shade as well. It's not quite a clear, it's a very sheer nude. It's a Your Lips But Better shade. I do have to say again, this taste, you guys, because I just applied this shade, it is so potent. It is like I am eating Vicks Vapor Rub. So I really need to, I'm going to recommend these, but with a lot of caution. If you are sensitive to taste, steer clear. If you are sensitive to tingling on the lips, steer clear. If you are intrigued and the taste doesn't scare you, I would say pick up one to start, because this taste really is going to turn people off, which is so unfortunate because I do think the formula is beautiful. I'm thinking that they'll probably get feedback on the taste because it is so potent, and then maybe they'll like relaunch them down the road, fragrance and like taste free is my hope, because for $15 the formula is really beautiful. When they're available at Ulta, you'll be able to use that $3.50 off coupon, you know, a 20% off, etc. So you're going to get them to around, you know, a $12 price point. And as you saw from some of those swatches, they're really similar to a lot of the other ones on the market. So I would say I'm giving these a thumbs up, but a cautionary thumbs up because of the taste. So try them at your own risk. Again, maybe pick up one first to see if you can tolerate the taste before picking up the others. But overall, I think it's a good effort at a new launch, and the issue with the taste is something that can be fixed and reformulated. They can do a launch down the road. So I'm rooting for them. I like JUVIA'S place. I like that they are coming out with really affordable formulas, and I like their attempt at the glossy lip. I hope this video was helpful. I hoped it helped you decide if you are going to be picking any of these up. Let me know in the comments below if you have tried any of the other juicy lip formulas that I mentioned, or if you have one that I did not mention that you recommend I try. I would love to hear it. Thanks so much, and I will catch you in my next video.